Hey folks, back here at the Just Chamia show with our very special guest, Miss Yolanda from Big O Pretty Girls. So Yolanda, before we get started, tell us, what are you reading and what are you listening to?
What I'm reading, I am reading Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success, Steve Harvey.
Oh yeah.
Awesome read. Read it.
Right.
I'm not an avid reader, but I read that in a day.
Oh, okay. I own it, I haven't read it yet.
Oh, you gotta read it. It's definitely something that you should read.
All right, and what are you listening to?
Listening to my all-time band, Mint Condition.
Oh yeah.
Anything by Mint Condition. Anything by, you know.
Love them. They're
awesome.
Yeah.
Just on Friday.
I was gonna say, I heard they're coming to town soon.
Yeah, they were here
I
Friday.
missed it.
Yeah, they were here Friday.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know you, tell us a little about who is Yolanda. Where are you from? A little bit about your background.
Well, I was born in Oakland, Oakland native. Went to all the schools in West Oakland. All around girl, mother of 5 children, married 16 years, and
awesome, beautiful.
God is,
Absolutely.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You take it, breathe in, breathe out. So yeah, just trying to do the best that I can do to be the best that I can be.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And all her judge looking fantastic. Fantastic. I feel so underdressed with that necklace.
That's okay. You have to, Big O Pretty Girls, do it big.
There it is. There it is. Love it. Love it.
Big, yeah.
So I want to talk about a couple news stories and get your opinion on those. So first, Eric Garner. Eric Garner was murdered July 17th on tape, videotaped by at least 2 witnesses. Earlier this week, the grand jury decided not to indict NYPD police officer Daniel Pantaleo for the killing. And then this Thursday, the New York medical examiner ruled that Eric Garner's death was in fact a homicide, saying that he was killed by a chokehold. So my first question for you, did you see the videos of Eric Garner saying, "I can't breathe"?
I didn't watch it. It's too upsetting for me. Videos like that of African Americans or anybody being murdered by the hands of someone who's supposed to protect us is very upsetting and disturbing to me. So I choose to not watch it and to pray more about it, that it does not enter my psyche, because I'm, as a person, angry. As a black person, I'm angry. I have sons.
Right.
Saying that he has asthma, all my sons, all my children have asthma. So that could just has well been my son, so that's how I feel.
So thank you for sharing that. And as a mother, and seeing what happened with Eric Garner, and seeing what happened with Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, what have you told your sons? What are the conversations that you've had with your sons? What are they thinking about this?
Well, my sons are angry. I have a 27-year-old and I have a 16-year-old. The 16-year-old, he's disturbed. The 27-year-old is angry, because we had to deal with this already with the San Leandro Police Department. My son could have been Trayvon Martin. My son could have been, driving while black. And that's what happened, And we prayed him through that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's really sad. There was a second video, which I know you didn't see, but maybe you heard about this. There was a second video of Eric Garner, of his murder. And on that video, they captured, it was 8 minutes of the takedown, of the wait for EMS, the emergency responders to come, and of the first emergency responders arriving on the scene, and what happened. Now what the video showed, or what the video showed didn't happen, was there was no CPR attempted by the officers or by the EMS folks that came. What do you think about that? Should the EMS, the emergency responders who came on the scene, do they have some obligation, and should they be also looked at for part of his death?
From what I understand about the EMS, EMTs, that they can't do anything unless they get the permission from the officers. So if the officers do not clear them to assess the person that's in trouble, they can't do anything. So I don't think that they should be held accountable. I think the officer, as a human being, should be held accountable. Because to me, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, orange, green, or purple, or pink. You're here to uphold the law. That's not upholding the law. Now, I can understand if there was something that they did or something that was wrong, or, you know, but that excessive force, and it looks really bad on an African-American person.
Yes.
That looks really bad to us. So all cops and all officers are not bad. I have friends that are officers. But it's just those few that makes the whole force look bad. You know, I've had my own run-ins. My husband has had a run-in with a bad cop. And how can I teach my grandson and my son to call the police if they're in trouble when I don't know if my son is going to make it from the call that he made to help him?
Right. Wow.
So it's a scary situation. So I basically, we pray about it constantly. I pray covering over everybody's children. You know, that's where we are, you know.
Well, let me ask you this question. In this case of Eric Garner, in the case of Michael Brown, and we know the decisions have been made by the grand jury in both of them to not indict, what does justice look like to you?
Justice, from a human perspective, looks like a joke. But we're not here for justice on this earth. We're here for a bigger purpose. So all this stuff that's going on is taking our mind off who we're supposed to be going to. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So my feeling is, even though I would call the police, I would pray that that the Lord would send someone, the right one, to get this situation handled. Everything happens for a reason. I feel real bad that they passed away. You know what I'm saying? But we have no control over that. But at the end of the day, we all, no matter who you serve, who you think you serve, we gotta go to that station where they're gonna tell you what you did wrong or what you did right. So, you know, that's not for us to judge. I'm not saying we shouldn't be angry and we shouldn't protest, but tearing up your own stuff and does not make anything better.
Speaking of protests, since late September, students and others have been protesting in Hong Kong for reform prior to the 2017 elections, where basically the Chinese government is imposing these restrictions on the elections and who can run and vetting candidates before they can run. So they've been protesting. So thousands have been blocking downtown Hong Kong. I've been, so that's a pretty big feat. Hunger strikes, etc. What are your thoughts on social revolution via protest? You can even relate it back to the previous stories we talked about with Eric Garner and Michael Brown, but even these students in Hong Kong protesting. Is protesting effective?
I think protesting is effective if it's done well planned. If you have a well planned out, if you have a well planned out plan. Don't just get mad, we're gonna go riot and we're gonna go do this. You have to protest for a cause. You have to protest for the right reason. Don't just protest because you're angry and go tear up something. This business owner just got her shop. You're protesting, you tearing up her stuff. What does she have to do? What does she have to do?
So if you look at the civil rights movement and protests then, what about protests have changed between then and now, and the nature of protesting and the effectiveness of protesting?
I think the protests that they did back then, some were peaceful, but again, the officers, you see what I'm saying? That's the difference. The difference is they're okay with tearing them down, tearing up the protesters. Let's just make it look bigger than what it is, you know, on their end. I feel like it is needed and it is necessary, but there has to be a planned out plan. You have to find the solution. What are you trying to get? Are you just trying to get some attention? I think again, I'm gonna go back to it again. Pray before you do anything. Because you can go protest,
there it is,
and get yourself killed.
There it is.
And still for what? I pray about everything. I ask for forgiveness, and I pray about everything that I do. Now, am I holier than thou? No way. Am I perfect? I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be me.
Yeah, I'm putting my stone down. I can't throw it. I gotta put my stone down.
Right.